I'm back again for the second time today. Just sitting in my room, and I was like, I kind of want to go live. And I was like, well, I already went live today. And I was like, I want another room. And I was like, not tonight. Um, and I was about to do something else, but I didn't really want to. Didn't feel like. Hey D, how you doing? So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Every single deck. Oh goodness. Okay. I want to use the energy oracle cards, and then it was like I have them stacked up. It was like every deck on top of the energy oracle cards. So I'm going to be using the Witch's Tarot, a Diceology deck that I made. Universe Has Your Back cards, Angelarium, Oracle of Emanations, Mirror Truth Lenormand, and the Energy Oracle cards. And just to see what comes out, I guess. Because I was just sitting here, and at like 8:10, like the woozy started to descend upon me. But in a way that I don't usually feel them. Like it was dense. Usually the woozies are like very sort of light-ish, but it was like woozy and dense. Like somebody's trying to put a foot in me. Like just step into my mind. Hey Eve. What? Really? Really? That's interesting because I just sent Rob another message and I was like, I said this earlier, but here it is again. Now you're not at work. Thanks, D. I was like, I might hit 100 subscribers soon. That's wild to me. Hey, Zelda. That's wild to me. Like, I never would have thought, honestly, that I'd have more than like maybe 30. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like it was like viewer's choice. I didn't necessarily expect cards, but ooh, the woman holding the heart and the door to romance came out. Nice. Yeah, I'm like, part of me is like, should I do something? Do I have to do something? Another part of me is like, that's a lot of people. Not in a bad way, just in a observation way. Hostilities and the man holding a heart, but the woman holding a heart is opening up to the door romance. Oof, indecision, hostilities, envy. You just said 60. Yeah, because I'm like, what? Okay, so when I get to 100, half of you are gonna have to leave. I'm kidding. I'm playing. I can go back down to 50. I can go back down to 50. Ooh. The door to personal healing and happiness with the garden and the gate coming out. Right? I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, thanks for coming over here. The door to personal healing and happiness with the garden and the gate at the bottom. I like this energy. This is an energy of comfort zones. The garden and the gate is all about going outside of your comfort zone. It's like instead of, oh, that's what I was going to say about Virgo earlier, but I forgot. I was like, it's interesting because usually I feel like Virgo is a continuously enfolding energy, like corridors that just spiral further and further inside. But it feels like Virgo is coming into a space of like external expansion. And I was like, oh snap. I don't necessarily, it's not that Virgo can't do that, but I typically view Virgo as like that internal sort of spiral, like the hermit, right? You go inside. But it feels like with this door to personal healing and happiness, it's like the more you heal and the happier you can be, happier. The more you heal, the more you'll sort of find yourself expanding beyond what you know. But you have to expand beyond what you know to heal. It's this very like both energy. Oh, excuse me. And then there's the yawn. I liked it. I was afraid. I was like, Virgo, I'm gonna sit down and try to do like a stream. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and do a stream of consciousness. I hope it's not for Virgo. And then it was Siri was like Virgo. I was like, okay. But it ended up actually working out, I think. I think it did. I'm pretty sure it did. An accurate depiction. Oh, two cards. Mm. An accurate depiction, a true to life tale, liquid light that carves its way through night, and an inn that welcomes weary travelers, a hot tub that soaks all of one's worries away in a sly grin. See, that hot tub, this is the garden and the gate. It plays on your comfort. It makes you really, really comfortable, or it's you trying to make yourself comfortable rather than continuing to expand and continuing to grow. But as you continue to expand and grow, it's like, again, it's like the expansion welcomes more healing, which welcomes more expansion, which welcomes more healing, which welcomes more expansion, which welcomes more healing type of energy. It feels like a forge. It's like it's like um it's like molten iron pouring through a mold. That's what this is like. Bottom of the deck is the beginnings of self-realization and preparing to welcome something big. Caring for one's mental space is also there. The beginnings of self realization, caring for one's mental space, and preparing to welcome something big. There's an energy of forging here. It's molten hot iron being poured into a mold. But if you're afraid of heat, you'll never be hot enough to be malleable, to be formed into anything. You'll just be like a block of metal. You know what I mean? Big bathroom. I haven't seen too much Rick and Morty. There we go. I think I might make the strength and justice spreads tonight. I need to get back on that. I want 2 to 3 for personal healing and happiness, please. Focus without focusing just came to my mind. Excuse me. I just heard focus. What? I ain't trying to. We need the portable air conditioner to be functioning. Heat is not okay. If you experience any heat throughout my streams, know that I do not consent to that. Oof. It's this energy of focus without focusing. And for me, I don't know how it necessarily works for other people, but it's just like this. It's like you relax and expand your mind. So I guess it's like creating space for the subconscious to just come through. I don't know how else to describe it though, besides like relax your mind. The cross came out as the first card. And we do have liquid light that carves its way through night. And the scythe. Yeah, I guess this is the carving through night. This feels like a lightsaber. And it feels like a lightsaber. I don't watch. Um, I don't like Star Wars is not my thing. Okay. Star Wars is not my thing, but from what I do know about lightsabers, they cauterize as they cut. That's why people don't get cut by a lightsaber and then there's like blood like flying everywhere. They're hot enough to cauterize the wound. And it feels like it's this energy. But with this door to personal healing and happiness, this is an energy of deliverance. Like if you've been in the church, because I know I've been in the church, and when people talk about deliverance, that's what this energy is. It cuts it off and it cauterizes it at the same time. So there's no desire to go back. It's like it heals and it does all of that. On the other side, it's rods with the garden in reverse. Oh, the garden came out in reverse for the garden and the gate. With this is an energy where it's like if you're not moving, you may find that your comfort zone is getting it can't provide for you anymore. Because it's like if you're not planting any seeds, right? You can only eat what you have to reap. But without planting any more seeds, without growing any more food, you're going to run out. That's what this is. Rods is coming out feeling like the Ten of Wands. It's like you're putting too much. I've never noticed Dorothy. Have y'all ever noticed Dorothy in this card? Okay, it's a birdhouse. To be fair, it's a birdhouse. Ariel, hey. I know, right? I was like, I gotta come back. I was like, that's a birdhouse, but for some reason it's looking like Dorothy coming into Oz. Or maybe that's her house. She missed it. She made it to the basement, so she didn't get to go to Oz. She was inside of her comfort zone. What? I didn't even know you could do that. D. The heart and flowers were at the bottom of the deck. This is a self love energy because the beginnings of self realization carried from one's mental space with the heart and flowers, that's what this is. And it's very like pink, but in the heart, there's also green. So it's grounding it in the heart. This is like higher heart chakra energy, which is gorgeous. But I think sometimes that connection between the higher and the lower hearts gets a little um, I know what the chakras are. I didn't know that the chakras were like in the Wizard of Oz. Oh snap! I sent Rob a message. Um, I was like, "You all right over there, Rob?" He was like, "Yeah, I just got done with the spiritual development class." I was like, "Okay." Ah, I didn't know that. It feels like it honestly it feels a little bit like a spiritual siege. Kind of a little bit. Like your well's gonna run dry. But it's not that it's siege in that way. It's just that like if you want more, you're gonna have to go venture and find more. It's not like raining what manna from the sky anymore. Speaking of bread, it's not raining bread from. Excuse me. It's not raining bread from the sky anymore. Like that period and that phase is over. And it's interesting because in the Bible, it's like they were holding on to the manna because it was like, well, we don't know if it's going to rain tomorrow. But in that time, it's like you're going to be abundantly provided for, and it's going to spoil if you hold it overnight. But now it's like it's time to like continue on to the promised land type of energy. And some of us have made homes in the desert. Some of us literally live in deserts on Earth. So it's that energy, Eve. Did I say that? I don't know. But if I did say, well, running dry than the community rune, it puts more water in the well. I wouldn't mess with that community. I'll take it back. I encourage everyone to do the community rune. Okay. There is a lot of divine support though. And I feel like it's all coming out in the healing. I am just pulling cards, Ariel. So I guess this is a collective read. Oh, wait, you came in what? Really? Ooh. The King of Cups just came out. There he is. With the King of Wands above and the Sun at the bottom of the deck. And behind the Sun is the Queen of Wands. So, that's cute. Behind the Queen of Wands is the Page of Pentacles. King of Cups, King of Wands, and the Sun. See, this is that energy. If you've ever wanted something and not gone after it, and then you have to live with that almost constant internal turmoil of like not saying the things that you want to say to the people that you want to say it to, not doing the things that you want to do even when you're presented the opportunities to do it. It feels like it creates like the rifts within self that form in those spaces. That's what this is sort of healing. Because it feels like there was an argument between the King of Cups and the King of Wands, like what you desire and what you feel. And it feels like there was no follow through. And the sun's coming out to it's like the sun's coming out to heal it, but at the same time, like there are things that we got to do, right? It's like you go outside of your comfort zone and you find healing, and you go further outside of your comfort zone and you find more healing, and you go even further outside of the comfort zone and you find more healing, to the point where one day your kingdom is going to expand into an empire if you keep doing it. because it feels like there is like an emperor energy in the making here. But that emperor energy, it feels like it's us being in a space where our actions more closely reflect our truth. That's quite a few cards. Oh, well, speaking of the emperor, let's see. The empress is at the top of the deck over here. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this is. All right, Zelda. Have a good one. What? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. See, this is exactly everything I was talking about. With this, it's like you can be put in a position to create. There are these opportunities. Hey, Genouveau. Is that how I say it? Genouveau Tarot. Thank you. This is that, like, you, when you have those opportunities to make your life more of what you wish it would be, when you're exposed to like this great happiness, but the truth of that, it plays on this like internal conflict. It's like it freaks you out. And with this Eight of Cups going into the Nine of Pentacles, it's like this is you going back to your comfort zone. This is something that would come in and try to expand you. It's like it would try to make you happier, but it's coming through in ways that you don't allow, for whatever, because of whatever reason you're inside of this comfort zone. And maybe it's like you, it feels like you found a certain comfort, or you were provided for. Oh, okay. J Nouveau, Jessica Nouveau. Welcome. It's like you found success there for a time, but that well is running dry. And it's intended to run dry because it's just time for you to do more, to be more, to experience more. Bottom of the deck, the Chariot and the Hanged Man. Hmm. And the Six of Cups. I mean, past energy is already all over this, so I didn't really need the Six of Cups. It's also a fun play on French words. Oh, whoa, that was weird. I thought I just felt like all of my cards slide out the bottom of this box, but they didn't. Maybe that's like you need to put all your cards on the table. You need to lay it all on the line. Oh, snap, I forgot I grabbed these. Let's see what angels want to come out, I guess. Here we go. So basically, it's like saying the new tarot. Oh, you know French, are you? Oh my gosh, you just like continue to unravel into this more and more just interesting person. That's one of the things I love about people, though, is that there's so much depth to all of us. Like we could continuously unravel for the rest of our lives, and you'd still never get to the ends of the person. Your side, root, and connection. You randomly live there. Okay. Sure, why not? I love it. So your side came out on the side. Oh yeah. So if you just came in, the I'm using the energy oracle cards. I started with the energy oracle cards. The door to personal healing and happiness came out with the garden and the gate at the bottom of the deck. And so it's this energy of us being called outside of our comfort zones for honestly, it could be for like a more material reason at first. But then while we're out there, we find some kind of healing in a way that gets us to honestly see ourselves a little bit more clearly. And it's this continuous series of like expanding further and further and further outside of our comfort zone. Basically, it's like the Virgo reading I did today, where it's like, you get enough threes, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 12 is a three. It's like eventually you sort of like wrap back to where you were. And so it's like you're becoming someone different until eventually at one point you sort of realize that you're just becoming more of who you are in your totality. You're becoming like you are becoming the person who you would be if you didn't have like what is it, like a relationship anxiety or a commitment anxiety. You're becoming the or you're becoming the person you would be without like a lack mentality. You're becoming the person you would be if you had more self-confidence. You're becoming the person you would be if you didn't always like mute yourself. But in you overcoming all of those things, it just makes you more of who you are, type of energy. And so there's the energy of expanding out of it, and then there's the energy of staying in the comfort zone. And the comfort zone is starting to wither. The garden is overtaxed. You've been eating the crops but not planting seeds. The well is running dry. And it's time to move on. Long story short. Excuse me. Ooh. Three is on your number. There we go. Phanuel, the angel of truth, came out on the other side. Bottom of the deck is Tiferet, which I'm not surprised. Again, it's the heart. This is the heart of the Kabbalah tree of life. And we already have like the heart and flowers here. Right? The heart is one of the heart is the most powerful tool that we manifest with. But the heart has started to stagnate in some kind of way, for self at the very least. And since the heart is stagnating for self, then manifesting for self is also stagnating. We've gone as far as we can go with what we've got. And LB said as much in the Pisces reading Untitled Tarot. I was like, my memory. Yeah. I got a Taurus moon and rising, Ariel. So I think I told you, but I was talking to Russ earlier. And like as I was talking to him, I could feel like I was like, if I do this, it's gonna put me outside of my comfort zone. And once I get outside of my comfort zone, I know that I'm gonna be guided to go even further outside of my comfort zone. So by the time all of this is over, I'm like way outside of my comfort zone. But way outside of my comfort zone right now is actually gonna be closer to my comfort zone there because when I get there, my comfort zone is gonna expand because I'm expanding. But honestly, I just want to take a nap and have everything provided to me. Like I don't want to have to do anything. And is that so bad? So Taurus moon cap sun. Ooh. I like that. That earth trine. So your side is connection. It's the first emanation where everything, well, I guess besides Tiferet, it's like it's a first and the last energy. This is the point where everything comes together before our reality is sort of formed. Can you hear that? Yep. I get you, Ariel. What I love about this is, though, there's something about a distorted sense of self in this card. because we see that pearl in the back. Like that's who we think we are because of everything that we've experienced in the world. This is what we think our potential is. This is what we try to shoot for. This is what we try to become. This is what being so far and like this is the best we can come up with from like, you know, like BFE, middle of the comfort zone, nothing nowhere for miles and miles and kilometers and kilometers and kilometers and miles. But it's like the truth of who we are is emerging from the inside. And the truth of who we are is far much more than what we could even imagine at the space where we currently are. But I think it also frightens us. It reminds me of that one quote where it's like, our greatest fear isn't that we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not worthy. Our greatest fear is that we're actually powerful beyond our imagining, or something like that. It's paraphrased, right? You heard the bang? Okay, yeah. I guess the 4th of July is in like 3 days. So, oh, there you go. Did anyone hear that bang? Yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. There's a real lower world energy here. If you've ever seen Soul, this reminds me of the place where the lost souls go and they turn into like anxiety monsters or something like that. But it's like spirit is trying to find your anxiety monster that's lost out there, that's wondering, and bring it back to life. It's bringing you back to life, which is why you got to go outside of your comfort zone. And look, the whole sun is here to help illuminate this. But I feel like you work up to the sun. They're not just like blinding you. Now with Fanuel or Fanuel on this side, oh wow. I'm starting to feel like my dog. Like that's a little loud. It's giving me anxiety. I'm just playing. I know it can be a lot sometimes, Ariel. I feel like I was faced with my potential like November ish of 2019. And when I was first faced with my potential, I was like, this is too much. This is too much. I can't do this. And I ran for like 2 days. I didn't do anything. And then I was like, well, I guess I can't like not do it. I'm not going to go back to being a depressed mess. So I guess I'll keep moving forward. And it was interesting though, because I feel like I felt that potential before I started becoming the person, like before I started actualizing it or realizing it. And it was a very sort of natural course of events that made that transition like gradual. But I don't know. Anyway, I get where you're coming from, Mario. But nah. Fanuel, the truth is interesting to come out over here. But it almost feels like an energy of like, this is what your truth becomes. It's an energy of like, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And on this side, it's a whole lot of can't thinking. I can't do this, I can't do that. And you're always right. And so it's like your universe, now instead of your universe reaffirming your growth and expansion and your healing and how capable you are, instead of you actualizing and realizing more of your potential, you're shutting yourself further and further and further in. That's why the well is running dry. Because whenever you face that opportunity of expansion or growth or healing or happiness, you shut it down. That's why it's closing in on you. Because every time you sort of hit an opportunity, you can't. And it's like, it's not the truth, but it's your truth. And I think that's why Tiferet, see, I've never noticed this before. Yeah, if you've ever seen Soul, this is that whole anxiety monster thing. Because it feels like this could be us. It's us. I'll stop saying you. This is us withering away. And it's like our internal shadows are coming to like take that heart. It's making it darker and darker and darker. And eventually it's going to dim it to the point where it can come in and take it. If it's too bright, then it's like it casts the shadows out. This could even be your world and your reality, your experiences pushing you further and further down. Oh, wow. Can't, never did, nothing, and never will. I like that. Ariel, I'm just I'm just so extremely intrigued in everything now. I still need to go back and watch those videos. See, but that's why this in is here. Because again, it's like it feels like an energy that plays on your insecurities in a way that it's like it knows that you want to be comfortable. And so it comes, that's what this is. This is the energy making you more and more and more comfortable rather than you like, look at the difference. The external environment is very similar, but the internal, it's completely different. You're fine, Ario. That's the way to communicate truth. I guess when you get older, or not older, but when you're in a position where you know that you can't make someone else's choices and decisions for them, but you want them to make a certain choice or decision or to realize something, you speak in parable. That's why the Bible is written in a lot of parables. Because it's like, you got free will, you can choose, but I'm going to tell you this story. And you take the moral of the story and apply that information in your life as you will. Excuse me. Okay. Now, these are just going to be overall because there's no real need to separate these, I don't think. I surrender to a power greater than me. True, but I'm not feeling I'm not feeling it. I am. Oh, I should have kept it. Because it is true. There's a power that's greater than you that knows what you want. It knows what you desire. It knows how you hurt and how you ache. And it's there when you like, you're wailing at night. And so it's like if this energy, if the divine is telling you to do something, it's probably for your benefit. That is not a bad space to be in either. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit like, I wonder what I'm capable of. And then I get an opportunity, and it's like, okay, like you want to know what you're capable of? Here's an opportunity for you to experience more of what you're capable of. And then I'm like, ooh, that looks like it's gonna be hard. No, thank you, I pass. And Spirit's like, oh my gosh, Patrick, we can't do anything with you. I'm like, yes, you can. I'm playing. It's a whole conversation. I choose love no matter what. And the more energy and intuition I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. This feels like the one right here. Oh, with the hummingbird, talking about all that higher heart energy. Shout out to Russ. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. I just watched Reem's mandala reading from like February 22nd, 2021. Before I even like started following Reem. And she was talking about the dream that she had with the two swords. And the sword that went in her pocket being the space of like her inner truth or her faith, her inner faith, right? Her inner faith and her inner knowing. So it also builds your faith, which isn't surprising. See, that's the thing I was talking about though. Like when your comfort zone expands, like you go further and further and further, it's this continual building. So not only are you like healing and growing continuously, you're also building your faith continuously. And there are going to be things that you can do when you have more faith a lot more easily than when you had less faith. And there's also going to be things that you can do when you have more trust that you just wouldn't do if you didn't trust somebody at all, right? If some stranger walks up to you with a very questionable energy and you don't trust the word they say, and they're like, "Hey, like follow me, come on, we're gonna have some fun." You're probably not gonna go with them. Well, you might, but maybe you shouldn't. Use your discernment. But it's like if when you build that faith, when you build that trust, when you meet more people, and so your preconceptions of people change and broaden and expand, then it's like you can come upon the exact same person and get a completely different read off of them. And it can be the same person. We're in the same thing, coming in the exact same way. And I think that's why the heart is here. Because a heart can be poisoned. There's a lot of like heavy, toxic sort of emotions that when we don't deal with and express them or work through them, they just kind of sort of build up in the system. But it's like there are different levels to the heart at the same time too. And we've seen that. So the Taurus energy does not like to move. Perfectly content in our uncontentedness. Thank you for saying that. Cause I feel I feel like that perfectly describes this feeling that I've tried to communicate to people sometimes, and I feel like I just can't do it in a way that makes sense. Because I was like, being depressed and miserable is comfortable. I'm like, it's not comfortable, it sucks, but when I'm there, it's familiar. I'm like, yeah, it's familiar. Content and uncontentedness. Because it's like, I don't want to know. That's too much. Doesn't want to work. Your moon and rising are all fiery. That helps. You're all fire and earth. I'm all like earth and water. Maybe you were a Taurus in your past life. You graduated to Virgo, Eve. Yeah, that's what this is. We're coming into the space of lots. And we're coming into a time and a season of more, right? It feels like the in the Mayan calendar, we're in the last like 24, 25 days of the blue lunar storm. But after the blue lunar storm is the yellow electric seed. And so it feels like it was an energy of clearing so that when something else is planted, it can grow, right? Because plants compete just like everything else. Kizzy cat, hey, just like everything else, like plants compete for resources. That's why, like, if a plant needs a lot of light to grow, and if it grows, like if you plant it under a tree, it's probably not gonna grow because trees cast a lot of shade, and the trees are going to be taller than the plant that you plant. So it's probably going to die unless it's parasitic and it kills the tree. Now you can mix the different conditions for different plants, right? So, like if you plant shady plants under a tree, then the shady plant will grow under the tree. If the tree isn't pulling all the nutrients out of the soil, it's that kind of energy, though. Blue lunar storm is clearing for yellow electric seed to really come in, and it's been tough all over. And I'm the type of person, or I've become the type of person that's like, sometimes it can be a little difficult. Sometimes it was a little difficult to believe that everything happened for a reason, especially when it came to particularly difficult things that I could not understand why I would experience. But I've become the type of person who tries to make everything happen for a reason. Right? If I have to go through a sucky experience, at the very least, I'm going to try to salvage it in some kind of way. And so, in that, for me, it almost doesn't matter. Does it happen for a reason or not? I don't know. But I can take enough sort of control in my life to try to, make a meal out of it. What? That plant came up in one of the farmer's almanac things one day. I think comfrey. Well, there you go. Leave it to the earth signs. Earth signs coming through with the answers. Thank you. Thanks, Eve. Oh, Remiel, Angel of Visions. That's what I was seeing with Fanuel. With the brazier that he was holding and the light up top. It's like his vision fills what becomes his truth. And then he's looking at that, not necessarily knowing that it's actually coming from up here. And I don't know why the Sims popped into my head, but that's because with the thing on top of his head, he looked like a Sim. And I was like, was I thinking Simlish? Am I speaking Simlish? I don't even know how to speak Simlish. The only Sims game I played was like on the Wii for a little bit. It does. Everything happens for us. Yeah. You have fruit and soil issues. Bring me back. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Come on. There we go. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. The presence of love will always cast out fear. On the bottom. I like that. That's cute. Thank you all for being here. I'm just getting final messages from these decks, and I don't know where this box is right here. LB, oh snap, she's back in the house. Welcome back, LB. I am obsessed with that thumbnail. I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. I love this thumbnail. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. I need to get to work. No problem, D. I need to start doing my stuff. I need to get on it. What is this? I've discovered a new pain recently. It's like right here. It's like that little bit, like just right there. I'm telling you that. Oh. Well, thank you for popping in. Is that a thing that people do? Like, say I in the chat if you also read before bed, because apparently I need to read more. Oh, I just found a book, audiobook. Okay, like y'all ain't gotta make me feel bad though. No more eyes in the chat. Thank you. 3 is enough. I get it. I get it. What? Do you really? Okay, thank you, Ariel. Taurus solidarity. Ariel just gets me. The rest of you don't. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I only sleep in bed. Okay, all right. We got a nice even split. I like representation. There's a diverse group here. That's good. That's good. I'm just playing. There is because I got this book a friend got for me. It's called Big Magic. I was like, oh well, she got it for me, so I should read it. I'll read it. I'll read a little bit before bed tonight. It'll help me go to sleep. Better than melatonin. You take leave from work to read books. Oh wow. When I was really young though, I used to love to read. Before I got video games and cable TV, I would read all the time. Yeah, you said that. With the Odyssey, the Iliad is the Iliad. That's no, that's the Aeneid. The Aeneid is with Aeneas. Is the Iliad with Jason and the Argonauts? Who's the Iliad about? I forget. You'll have to remind me. You like listening to books from Audible on Alexa while in the shower. Frankenstein, Catcher in the Rye, Old Man in the Sea. I might get into audiobooks. When we had accelerated reading in school, I was like, I'm going to go to the library and just check out an audiobook. So you do read Eve? I'm just playing. The Art of War from Sun Tzu. Annual summer reading contest. Oh yeah. Okay. That makes sense. With like Helen of Troy and yeah, okay. I was like, I feel like Hecate entering Hecate's garden. That sounds interesting. 2 cards came out face down. The Magician and the 5 of Pentacles. This is your mind without books. This is your mind with books. Look how much more creative and happy you are. Read a book. There are many different kinds of books. You can take your pick. There's fiction and nonfiction, crime thrillers, mysteries, fantasy, dramas, even books that your kids probably shouldn't be reading. But you can because you're an adult. I don't know. This random PSA brought to you by the lovely readers of this channel and The Witch's Tarot. You binge read? Eve. Eve. She's like, I don't do it in bed though. I downloaded like so many free books on like a Kindle app or on the iBooks app, and I just never read them. Oh snap! What? That's pretty cool, D. There's an app called Audible. Yeah, I have Amazon Prime, and they were like, you get like 2 free books on Audible or something like that. So I signed up for it because my mom wanted one of the audiobooks. I didn't know that it signs you up for an Audible subscription though, and they kept charging me for it. And I only did it to get the free audiobooks. So, you do it every day before you always. Gotcha. These woozies, man. I still got them a little bit. The woozies are descending upon me. The woozies, the woozies. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I do. Maybe that's why I like I said, like when I was a kid, I loved reading. And like the high fantasy books, like dragons and elves and stuff like that. Like Anne Perth, Redwall. Oh my gosh. Redwall books were long though. It helps you chill out at night. That makes sense. The Audible got you too. I was like, can I get a refund, please? Because I ain't even been using y'all service. Hello? Hello? You've had the woozies. What's going on, LB? It was like 8:10 Central. And they just started like coming in heavy. No, it's not. I can there are some book smells that I can appreciate. Some paper smells. It's not a prerequisite before bed, but you read. Okay. No, you're fine. Yeah, that's what it feels like today. Because I feel like it was like putting a foot in me, like in my head, putting a foot in my crown, like trying to like really come in, rather than like me just like being aware of it, sort of floating around and like it trickling in. It's like it was like coming in today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I felt like gravity was increasing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Cormac McCarthy. I have no idea who that is. Who is this? If the book card comes out, it might not. Ooh, no books. Okay. Is it at the bottom of the deck? No. I'm shuffling it again. That didn't feel like it. Yours was itchy yesterday. See, Ariel, I've heard like people say that before about getting rid of the TV in the bedroom. But I'm like, how? How does that work? And they're always like, it was such an awesome choice. It was a good choice. Like getting rid of the TV in the bedroom is the best decision I've made in a while. What? Is it because of the like if it's about like you're watching TV and then the blue lights? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Ooh, speaking of portals, the snake just came out. What about the snake? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And then I think the blue light from like the TV and stuff interferes with the pathway. Blue light breaks down melatonin. So the letter, the cross, the rider, and the tower. I feel like this is an energy of like your prayers being heard, right? Like you're writing a letter to the cross, and then the rider comes into the tower. Prayers being heard and answered when it comes to the snake energy. If somebody is praying or if you got something on your mind, I guess the divine is like, we got you. Ooh, the stars and the fish at the bottom of the deck. It feels a little bit like a runaway in the middle of the night type of energy, though. It's like when you get the opportunity, take it. A little bit. I don't know. I don't know. We stay prayed up. Yeah, you say, why can I not think? You say something, something, stay prayed up, and something. My brain is not here today. There we go. Whew. Snake medicine is here. Big shifts. Lots of. I think snake has been a. It's actually been something I feel like I've been seeing quite a lot recently, maybe, and the transformative nature of it. All right, let's see. Let's see. Mirrors. Oh, I didn't know that. So no one likes TV in the bedroom but Patrick. Got it. I'm just playing. Mm, that makes sense, Lauren. With like needing every drop of REM sleep you get. Oh, your night energy work is nursing. That was funny. Oh, yeah, you did say you were doing like you doing housework, like work, housework over there, D. Stay prayed up, stay blessed, stay sweet. Okay, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Twins? Oof. Snakes and butterflies are powerful symbols of transformation. I think most of the time when I see snakes, I guess it depends. What is this? What? I'm not taking that. Okay. Last isology card. Ooh. So the card that came out, bringing order to thought, proper delegation of tasks, and seeing the internal through the external. Queen of Clubs. The Queen of Wands was behind the card that was at the bottom of the deck. The Sun. When the King of Cups and the King of Wands came out, the bottom of the deck was the Sun and the Queen of Wands behind that. So there it is again. Ooh, the woozies. The woozies. So you have, but you also haven't slept in 5 years. Oof. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. A Taurus with no sleep, Ariel, you are a saint. Bottom of the deck is a strong will and an open heart, all things taken into account. There is a sort of accounting energy here between the proper delegation of tasks and all things taken into account. It's this energy, it's the Ace of Wands, by the way. It's an energy of like, you do the things that you do, Spirit does the thing that only Spirit can do. But when you're doing that, like make sure you're doing the things that are for you to do, right? See the garden and the gate and the door to personal healing and happiness. The things that you can do lead you further and further inside this realm of personal healing and happiness. The things that you sort of put on Spirit to do, and Spirit's like, that's for you to do, but then you're like, Spirit, can you do this for me? It's drying up your garden. Because it's almost like Spirit's like, we're not trying to like have you like freaking out and panicking, but a drought is going to be coming to this area. And so we're trying to get you to move out of this area before the drought comes. Because if you stay here, it's going to be a hard few years. And you could avoid it if, you just move. If you go when you're told to go, then you can avoid all the snow and the trouble. It feels like you're moving for a reason. Adjacent possibilities. Very grumpy lady. Oof. One day you'll get some sleep, Ariel. Yeah. I don't like it's not necessarily like that extreme, I don't think, but it does feel like there's a reason why we're being told to move. It's because the land of milk and honey, the promised land, is on the other side. And I did say it was like a promised land type of energy. Oh, that's because when it was raining manna, it's like the manna rain is about to stop. So you're going to have to learn to make bread. It's not just going to fall from the sky no more. Let's see. I'm ready to move too. Like, let's go. You spent a week visiting Himalayas. Oh, wow. I've seen like Himalaya salt lamps, but I don't know what a lot of stuff does, honestly. If I'm being completely honest, I'm like, I don't know. I just stay prayed up, stay. How did I already forget? Where is it? I stay prayed up, I stay blessed, and I stay sweet. I feel like my brain is just gone. Yeah. Ooh. Mmm. The angel of love is at the cut with financial constraints, and they're both 13. This is a 49-13, and this is a 13-13, right? And it's almost an energy, it's like there can't be lack and abundance in the same space. So it's almost a very Abraham Hicksian, like, find where you have the abundance, focus on that abundance instead of focusing on the lack, because focusing on the lack is going to bring you more lack. The thing that you're most cognizant of is the thing that you choose to focus on. It's what you're looking for. So you're going to find it. It's not Waldo. Your abundance is not Waldo. Meaning, like, it's not hiding under all of the lack, right? I'm sifting through the lack, trying to find my abundance. It's like your abundance is on the page that's clearly marked, here is your abundance, where it's literally the entire page and no one else is there but your abundance. Kind of energy. But we're conditioned to look for Waldo. That I spy energy, you know? 1313 is the number of success and abundance. Oh, well, there you go. Hey, check out Untitled Tarot. I'm in the hive. Queen LB. Your Himalaya salt lamp melted in Hawaii? What? You went to a guided meditation in Salt Cave. Salt purifies, right? Oh, snap, it's Danielle. Hey, Danielle. Specifically feels like Waldo. It's, ooh, the Temple Path and the Broken Heart. Okay, let's see. This is the last card. Oh, it's very humid here, so I can't get a salt lamp yet. God provides for the birds. They don't sow or reap. Are we not more precious than the birds? I see the birds outside every morning, just like picking in the grass. I'm like, what are y'all? I didn't know that they ate grass seeds or something like that. But they just like outside. I mean, they look fed to me. They just be walking in the yard, chilling. I'm glad to see you. Welcome. Things here can be interesting sometimes. Honestly, high key though, my situation for the past year and a half has been very much so interesting. But in all of that, I've been provided for. Like, there were things that I experienced at the end of 2020 that I thought were like setbacks, only for everything to fall apart in 20. Did I say that right? Yeah. There were things that I experienced at the end of 2019 that I thought were setbacks, only for like when everything fell apart in 2020, what was a setback then became a blessing. And I was like, wow, well, I'm glad for that. Glad for that. Because I was kept, I was taken care of. It was really nice. Water melts salt faster than sugar. That makes sense because it salt. A lot of salts are like it's a salt, and water pulls salts apart. The hydroelectric bonds and stuff like that. Chemistry. Cast thy bread upon the seas. After many days it shall return. Oh snap! Look at Genuvo out there feeding the birds. Oh my gosh, the woozies intensify. LB is bringing the woozies to the chat. Spitting truth. My spirit is like, yes, yes, receive, receive, receive. I'm like, whoo. Oh, snap. Oh, 2020, you meant. Okay. I was like, 2029. Danielle's living in the future. How do I get there, Danielle? You brought the Holy Spirit with you tonight. I mean, it's because we're catching you before bread. We're catching LB before she about to go put in overtime. This is actually the time where LB is about to go to work. We catching LB before she go to work. So she bringing the spirit with her. This is the spirit LB take to bed. Don't mess with her. Don't mess with her. Don't come for LB, especially when she sleeps. Whew. Okay. Nah. So anxiety was the last card in my hand with the woman holding the heart at the bottom of the deck, and it didn't feel like it. So I cut the deck and I kept shuffling, and then it was the angel of strength with the woman holding a heart. LB definitely brought the spirit of the Lord's in this room on today. She eats Pennywise for breakfast. Oh snap! She is feeding. Not only is she protecting us in our dreams, she is bringing food. This is the energy oracle cards, Daniel. I've used the energy oracle cards, a disology deck that I made last year. The universe has your back. Angelarium Oracle of Emanations, the Mirror Truth Lenormand. Yeah, Mirror Truth Lenormand. I've used these. It's backwards. The Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. The universe has your back that I got off a Wish. This deck, the disology deck. Ooh, the world. And the energy oracle cards. Also got off a Wish. Also, I used the Witch's Tarot. Oops, excuse me. Collective cheerleader by day, Buffy the Vampire Slayer by night. I need to watch Buffy. Was the Dark Angel dude on Buffy, or was he on a different show? It's like he was on a show and then he got his own show. Was it Dark Angel or was it Angel? Because I feel like both of them were shows at one point. I don't remember. Oh, the sun in the Temple Path. The sun in the Temple Path. That's interesting. You don't have any of these? I've seen more people with the Witch's Tarot and the Energy Oracle cards. Angel. Okay. It is? Oh, snap. That broken heart at the cut again with the door to spirit. What pops into my mind, it's like the wound is the space where the light enters or something like that, right? That sounds like me. Hey, Mimi. I know, right? I was like, pretty soon I might hit 100 subscribers, and it's something that I never thought would be a thing. I never would have thought even having like what I think 85 now. I'm like, do I have to do something when I hit 100? What would I do? Ooh. The Door to Romance came out with fifth chakra Archangel Gabriel and second chakra Archangel Ariel. This is an energy of like life and death is in the power of the tongue. So speak life. And then here's the 33. Where's Amanda? 33, 36, 39. Oh, wait, Je Nouveau, you said that 33 is your number two. Oh, nice. Thank you. LB did say that. She was like, go and put some respect on his name. I was like, okay. And I'm in a space now where I can receive it. Like if when I just started, I was like, don't like, don't share, don't subscribe. This is my safe space and you're not welcome here. This is for me to just like the first time I went live, I was just talking to myself for like it was like 5 minutes, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can do a full 20. So I was talking to myself for a full 20 minutes, and then somebody came in at 17. I'm like, you ruined it. Go away. You know. There's that. That's what Eve said, right? Can't, never did anything, and never will. And so it took me a while, not a while, it took me some time to break free of that. And then when LB Untitled Tarot gave me a shout out on her channel, I was like, receive it, receive it, receive and allow. Excuse me. Right? I kind of still like there are people who like I talked to for a while or who I've been following for a while. They're like, Patrick, I didn't know you have a channel. I'm like, yeah, I've had a channel for like I've been using this space for a minute now. I just don't tell anybody. Rest and rejuvenation is at the bottom of the deck. With fourth chakra Archangel Raphael behind that. See, there's this energy here. I think this is why the Door to Romance is here. Oh, I love that, LB. You had to change your speech from you can't to you can with God to you are capable to you can do it. Yeah. And that's like everything that was at the bottom of the deck. It was the heart and flowers. It was Tiferet the heart. That's what this is. That's what all of this has been. And so it feels like we are speaking these things which we wish to create. But when we come face to face with those things, we get triggered. And in the trigger, we would not accept, not take what we have positioned ourselves to receive, what we have been in the process of aligning to receive. But when we come face to face with it, it's that energy of like, was it in what video was that? Was it? I think it was one of your Capricorn readings, LB. And you were like asking, like, if something like, can you receive? Like, you're good at giving, you're good at doing, but like, can you receive? Can you sit in a space? And it's almost like when we receive, it's one of those times where we're the most vulnerable. It is, right? Sagittarius. Okay. It was Sagittarius. I was like, it's either Sagittarius or Capricorn. I remember because I saw Reem comment on it. And then in a video, Reem talked about it too. You had success with your trying instead of I can't. You can't redo this twist tonight. I need to do mine too. This is rough. My cousin was like, just twist it. I'm like, girl, like I need you to retwist this. I'm ready to get my hair washed. Taking Ken out of your internal banter. So yeah, it feels like we've been speaking it. Now we have to receive it into the heart. That's why that's why this dude is like sitting here like breathing. This feels like that type of like breath work that you do. That's why anxiety was on the bottom of the deck with the woman holding a heart, and then the angel of strength came out. I should have took it. This is that like that anxiety breathing, like when you're like, I'm gonna receive it, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna receive it, I'm not gonna freak out. Been there. Been there, done that. But oh look, there's the angel of strength again. The angel of strength behind Archangel Raphael and rest and rejuvenation. And then there's the door to personal healing and happiness again behind this angel of strength. I love it when it comes full circle like that. All right, that's what I got. Thank you all so much for being here. This was pleasurable and enjoyable. And I got stuff to do. I guess it's time for me to get back on the work. So have a good night, Mimi and everybody. Receiving puts you in vulnerability. Giving is a control position. Exactly. Let that hair be great. I love that. No problem. Is it the weekend? Oh. All right. Oh, the thing that I say. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that. I hope that you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope that you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that wherever your magic lies, you have the strength and the courage and the perception to find it and go after it. And remember, stay prayed up, stay blessed, and stay sweet. Remembered! Shout out to Untitled Tarot, LB. I'll catch y'all later.